Hi everyone, up here at Ft.Caorline National Memorial today. This is actually my home POTA park, you could say. And the odd part is, I've technically never activated it. I'm a member of the local club and we've come out here a couple times and worked it, but I've never done it under my call sign. So I think if you were to look, I don't think I've ever done it under my call sign. So I think if you were to look at my POTA stats, this is one that I've never activated, but this is Ft.Caorline National Memorial. It's probably about 15-20 minutes away from my house, so it's kind of sad. Beautiful oak trees in the background. Look at all that moss. Trees are definitely older than I am. They got a nice... I remember coming here when I was in elementary school, and there's a place off here to the right, just back there with some tables, and that's where a lot of people do the POTAs. There's a little shelter there. But I'm gonna kind of challenge myself in two ways today. One, I didn't really bring an antenna, at least not in the traditional sense. I have a alligator clip. I do have a piece of scrap wire that I got out of my truck. So we can fashion and if we need to. Ideally, I'd like to find something that we can use its metal and see if it will work as an antenna. This is the shelter I was talking about. So imagine coming out here, maybe putting a wire in those trees and sitting here up on the hill with a beautiful view of the river. I've done it a few times and it's pretty enjoyable. So I talked about two ways that I was going to challenge myself today, and we said the first one was I really don't have an antenna. The second one is I'm actually going to go into the fort and operate inside the fort itself. So got a little bit of a walk, got my backpack, have the Zygu G90, and I'll show you what I'm using for a power supply here in a minute. All right, let's walk down to the fort now. Shout out to the super friendly and knowledgeable staff and volunteers here at Ft.Caorline. Just had a nice chat with them, and we talked about everything from history to snakes to oak trees. It was a lovely conversation. This is what I'm using as a power supply. It's the Ft.Caorline. And it's actually a tire inflator, jump starter, but it has a 15 volt, 10 amp output on it. And that we'll be using to power the G90 today. I don't leave home without that. That stays in the truck. It just does way too many useful things. Oh, did I also mention it's like a battery bank and a flashlight and a SOS light too, so well worth the $80 on Prime Day or whatever it was that I bought it on. Now, if I could activate with this, I'd be thrilled, but really would just like to get one contact just to say I use a Canon as a antenna. CQ parks on the air, CQ parks on the air, Kilo 7, Bravo, Echo, November. CQ parks on the air, CQ parks on the air, Kilo 7, Bravo, Echo, November. CQ parks on the air, CQ parks on the air, Kilo 7, Bravo, Echo, November. I'm going to switch to that Canon over there. For some reason I think that Canon over there is going to work better.
This is Whiskey 4 Bravo, Kilowatt Radio at US 7368 QRZ.
Kilo 7 Bravo Echo November, park to park.
This is Whiskey 4 Bravo, kilowatt radio at US 7368, QRZ.
K7BEN, park to park, park to park.
This is Whiskey 4 Bravo, kilowatt radio at US 7368, QRZ.
Kilo 7 Bravo Echo November, park to park.
Kilo 5 Whiskey Oscar Uniform, Whiskey Oscar Whiskey, excuse me.
This guy's got like a pile up, and I'm at the bottom of the pile.
Oh, very good. Yeah, you're 5-4 here in my station. Over. Copy. This is Whiskey 4 Bravo, kilowatt radio at US 7368, QRZ.
Park to park, park to park.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Echo India. I've got you coming in about a 5555 Illinois.
Alright then, I'll take checking from anyone I can hear.
Kilo 7 Bravo Echo November.
Whiskey 5 Romeo Oscar Delta in the mobile, sir. Go ahead, good morning.
So using the Canon would have been really cool, but it just wasn't happening today. I could hear lots of stations. I mean, I heard all kinds of stateside, Illinois, Midwest, Louisiana. The conditions just weren't there. So we're gonna cheat a little bit. I got this piece of scrap wire out of my truck. It's about 30 feet long, and we're gonna drape it over something and see if we can get activated today. You know, one of the original points of Parks on the Air was to get amateur radio some exposure to the public. And I really try to do that when I come to a park. I know there's guys, and I'm fine with it. I understand people have time constraints, health constraints, or whatever. They just sit in their car in the parking lot and they operate there, and that's okay. But I try to be an ambassador for amateur radio when I can. But today, I'm actually sneaking around to the backside of the fort, or what I'll call the river side of the fort, because that's where I can drape that wire. So we're gonna give that a shot and see how it works. All right, I made it to the back side of the fort, and I got my piece of red scrap wire. Here's a POTA already calling CQ. I'm gonna hopefully give them a park to park here. It's a little after 12.
CQ Parks on the Air from Kilo Tango 4 Echo Mike at US 3844.
Park to park.
Park to park, go ahead.
This is Kilo 7 Bravo Echo November. Our park number is 0775.
Alright, Ben, Kilo 7 Bravo Echo November. Park number here is about a 5 and 5 QSL.
QSL, you're about a 5x5 as well. What is your park number again?
3844 QSL.
Copy, 3844. Good luck.
Alrighty, well, thanks for the park to park, and hope you have a great activation of 73.
I would describe today as a successful failure. We didn't activate 10 stations and get an activation on the park today. The band conditions were really bad. I had a compromised antenna. Actually, technically, I had no antenna at all. Nothing I was using was a real antenna. I clipped to the Canon like you saw earlier. I tried a piece of wire. It just wasn't happening. Band conditions were awful. We did get a few contacts. We did get a couple of park to parks. But I still say that a bad day at the park is better than a good day at home. So this is K7BEN reminding you to stay radioactive.